How do you make it as a notary in 2025? This is the advice that nobody tells you in the notary world. I know that once you're on TikTok and you're scrolling, once you're on YouTube and scrolling, you're out there just consuming a whole bunch of content, and everybody's telling you things that make you feel good and make you so excited to become a notary. Oh, I can make 3 to 5K a month, and then after you finish scrolling, you go back to your regular life, you go back to your job, you go back to not having a job, and then things just don't change in your life. So this is the advice that a lot of people do not tell you. And one of the most cliche things that actually works is just changing your mindset and starting there. And I hate like saying this, but it makes such a huge difference. It makes such a huge difference in your notary business and in entrepreneurship period. So one of the things I always tell people to do is start off with books. For me, it started off as Think and Grow Rich. Starting off just there has changed my entire mentality. And the reason you read, the reason you even change your mindset to begin with, is so that when you do come across these hurdles in the entrepreneurship world, you're able to overcome these hurdles. You're able to overcome the ups and the downs. So the first thing is changing your mindset, which I know a lot of you guys are going to breeze right over. But just start off reading a book from front to back. You can scroll on Instagram for hours, but you can't sit there and you can't read a book. Come on. If they want to hide stuff from people, where do they put it? In books. Age old saying. So the first thing for me was basically changing the mindset and put myself in the realm of like, okay, I have to make this work. I don't want to make it work. I have to make this notary business work because I'm broke. Straight up. That's how it was for me. So it's changing the mindset, understanding like, okay, there's gonna be ups and downs in this. It's gonna be hard because business is supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy, or everybody would be doing it. But the first thing I will tell you is changing that mindset. Start with a book like Think and Grow Rich. Just read that. Get into the habit of learning. Get into that habit of learning. Next off, just as a great segue, is that consistent learning, that consistent absorption of long form content and studying things that actually pivotal towards the business. So studying how to read these documents, studying how to actually notarize, studying ways on how to market better, like things that are actually going to help you in your business, and you're actually consuming longer form content that you can actually dive in and you're getting in-depth information. That's way more important, and that's way better than sitting down and doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and listening to all these short little tips that you're getting from other notary creators. You're wasting your time. You might as well sit down, consume content, learn, take your money, buy a course, buy a one-on-one, get that information all in one package source, and continue hitting the ground running. Straight out the gate, I was paying for courses. I was reading books. I was paying for courses. I was watching long form content. I got all the information I needed to as fast as possible. That's how I was able to just boom, 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 rapidly accelerate. Because I wasn't sitting there doom scrolling on TikTok, listening to all the tips all the time. I'm watching a few of those, but then I'm going straight towards the information that can actually help me because I want to get to the money. I'm trying to get to the bag. I'm trying to free myself from the situation. I'm tired of being broke. That's the advice you need to hear. That's real. That's real game. Like, study this stuff. Study this stuff and don't let it be a fad. Don't let it be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to become a notary. You feel good. You're on your high horse for 2 weeks. And then before you know it, you're back to doing what you're usually doing. And that's what most notaries will do. I'm telling you that right now. Most notaries will put in work for not even a full month and then complain about how they can't make money in the business. Because most people complain. People complain. That's the thing that happens. And it's a very common thing. I've seen it over and over again. So moving on to the next thing is being realistic with your expectations. So for example, let's say that you're in the notary business, right? And you've been putting in a little bit of work, and now you turn around and you're expecting that you would have a bigger return. You got to be realistic to yourself. I used to have a friend that always used to say, lying is bad, period, but lying to yourself is worse. He would always say, do not lie to yourself. Once you start buying in on your own lies, you're done for. You're took, is what he would say. You're took. You're done for. Because now you're starting to believe your own lies. So when you're reevaluating yourself, you're reevaluating your business, and you're starting to realize, oh, the output that I'm getting from my notary business is not what I expected. Go back and think about it. What was your input looking like? All those hours that you were scrolling on TikTok, what else could you have been doing? You could have bought a course. You could have learned how to do something. So be realistic with yourself. If you're not getting the outcomes that you want, that means your input is not where it should have been. The one thing that happens when you're dealing with your own business, it's a reflection of you. And most people can't take that. It's like a direct reflection of you. And if you're not successful and you're not succeeding in it, it's because you're not doing something right. Something is off. Something is messed up in your system. Something is messed up in your system. So the best thing you can do is learn more. Go to other people that are smarter than you. Go read. Go take a course and keep it moving. But you have to be realistic with yourself. You have to take that accountability, blame yourself, and just understand that it's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. That comes with it. So with no effort comes no reward. You can't just sit there on your butt and expect the clients to come to you, which most notaries do. And then they half-ass the job when they go out there to do the job. The clients, they wait for clients to come to them, and then when they do the job, it's not even like a great job that they do. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't be one of those notaries. Don't be like the majority. Please don't be like the majority, because the majority will do this, and then they'll be surprised when people are successful in the notary business that were putting in work. So don't be like that. Like going back to what I was saying, that whole doom scrolling, that being on TikTok and just watching all the short form content, be very careful of that. Because what happens, and I tend to see people do this in the real estate industry a lot, and it drives me insane, is everybody on social media likes to feel like they're doing business. Everybody wants to feel like they're doing business. They're doing all these, I'm doing these meetups, and I'm doing this, and I'm watching all these videos on TikTok, and all of that is cool, but that's not doing business. Doing business is actually the work that you're putting in, that dedicated, deep work, those hours of you just sitting down, studying these documents, sitting down, or going out there, passing out these flyers and these business cards. Like, the actual work that you're doing is what needs to be measured. Not all this other stuff that you're doing that looks cool. Oh, I'm setting up my Instagram page. Oh, my TikTok is nice. I'm making these cool things to put. Like, all of that is fluff. That's not real business. When you sit down and you're doing that boring work, that's what brings the money in. That boring work, that boring, focused, deep work is what brings the actual money in. And it's not flashy. It's not fun all the time, but it works. And most people aren't willing to sit down and do that. And that's exactly the reason why most people won't get the money that they want to, because they're not going to do that part. And this is a real business game, y'all. I've been doing this for a long time. Next thing I would say is giving it your all. When people jump into this business and they see other people doing it online, I don't think they understand the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes. And you're not understanding the amount of time people have dedicated towards the craft. So when you get into the industry, respect it, because it's a real business like every other business, and give it your all. Dedicate a portion of your life to this. If you're really sick and tired of being sick and tired, then dedicate a portion of your life to making sure that your notary business is successful. On average, sometimes it takes 3 months to actually get the ball rolling. You'll make clients in that meantime, but to really get the ball rolling, it takes about 3 months on average. When I've been working in different businesses, I've realized that's kind of like the sweet spot. That 3 to 6 months, that 3 to 5 months is really what it takes. So that you have to be consistent, and you have to dedicate a portion of your life to actually growing a notary business. I'm not focused on anything, no other ventures, no other grass that's greener on the other side. I'm focused directly on making sure that this business is successful. Because one of the things that I've learned in my business, and this is what took me from 0 to $1 million really fast, is focusing on the same exact thing for extended periods of time every single day and not wavering my focus. And what you'll tend to often realize is the more you can focus on one thing for an extended period of time, the deeper you realize your business can go. And one of the mistakes I personally made in the past is I was going a mile wide and an inch deep. So if you know my story, which I won't go into, I had a lot of different businesses making money from them, but I was just going an inch deep. And that's a horrible way to do things. You want to have one thing where you're going an inch wide and a mile deep. And the longer you stay within an industry and you're actually focused on it and you're actually utilizing, buying more information, the deeper you realize your business can go and the better you get. And because most people jump into a business, play around in the kiddie pond, and then they jump into the next one, they never get deep to see that pond can be like a lagoon. That thing could be deep. And you want to do that, because the deeper you get into your business, the more strategies you learn. And then that right there is what separates you from everybody else. And that's all I did in my business. That's all I did. It's nothing flashy. It's not fun. I was even on social media posting about it. I was just working on the business for years until I'm able to get to the point where I am now. So that's the things that you need to do, guys. This is the advice that nobody tells you. This is like real game coming from a 7-figure entrepreneur in the notary business. I legit do this. These are the things that you need to do to level up, to get to the next level. And this is the advice I wish people would have told me earlier. Just not even in the notary business, but just in general, in business in general. Because this is what will actually help you. Focus on actually doing the work. But anyways, it's your boy Knowledge. Peace, love, knowledge out.